Betty Chalo, a vibrant journalist, a celebrated news anchor, and a woman whose personal life has often been as public as her professional journey. Among the most talked about chapters in her life is her marriage to fellow journalist Dennis Okari. For many years, their relationship was something out of a fairy tale. Two top media stars, both admired and loved, walking down the aisle in a glamorous wedding. But what began as a storybook romance quickly turned into one of the most discussed separations in Kenyan entertainment history. To understand their story, we need to go back to who Betty Chalo is. Born in 1989, Betty Chalo grew up in Nairobi and pursued journalism at Daystar University. Her charisma, confidence, and energy helped her rise quickly in the media industry. By her mid-20s, she was already one of the most popular TV anchors in the country. It was during this time that she met Dennis Okari, a respected investigative journalist. Unlike Betty, who was bubbly and often in the limelight, Dennis had a calmer, more reserved persona. Together, their chemistry fascinated fans. They represented balance, outspoken and one private. Their relationship blossomed, and soon they were not just colleagues in the media space, but also lovers. In October 2015, the two tied the knot in a beautiful and highly publicized wedding ceremony. Their wedding took place at the Marula Manor in Karen, Nairobi, and it was attended by high-profile guests, fellow journalists, celebrities, and politicians. The wedding looked perfect. Betty in her elegant gown and Dennis in his tailored suit, and the smiles that convinced Kenyans this was indeed a match made in heaven. Social media buzzed with photos and videos, with many describing it as the wedding of the year. For fans, this was not just about two journalists getting married. It was the merging of two brands that had captured Kenyans' imagination. But behind the glamour, things were not as perfect as they appeared. Barely 6 months after the wedding, rumors began to spread that the marriage was on a shaky ground. By early 2016, it became clear that Betty and Dennis had separated. For a country that had just celebrated their union, this came as a shock. People speculated what could have gone wrong so soon. In interviews later, Betty admitted that their marriage faced challenges almost immediately. According to her, there were disagreements, misunderstandings, and differences in personalities, but they simply couldn't reconcile. She has openly said in past interviews that they rushed things and that the reality of marriage didn't match the fairy tale people saw on TV. The reasons for their separation were personal, but both Betty and Dennis have offered a small glimpse into what went wrong. One is different personalities. Betty, being social and outgoing, loved the spotlight, while Dennis preferred privacy. This difference reportedly created tension. Two is rushed marriage. Betty admitted that they hadn't taken enough time to truly understand each other before walking down the aisle. Three is interference and pressure. Like many celebrity marriages, theirs was under constant public scrutiny. The media attention added stress to an already fragile union. 4 is trust issues. Although neither has gone into full detail, Betty has hinted in interviews that trust played a part in their separation. By the end of 2016, their marriage had officially collapsed and both moved on with their lives separately. For Betty, life after separation came with challenges but also opportunities. She continued to work in media, later launching her own business, Flyer by Betty, a luxury salon. She also embraced motherhood, raising her daughter Ivana, whom she co-parents with Dennis Okari. Betty became vocal about her journey, encouraging women to pick themselves up after a failed relationship. She embraced single motherhood proudly and continued to thrive in her career. Dennis, on the other hand, chose to stay low-key. In 2019, he remarried in a private ceremony attended by close friends and family. His new marriage reinforced the fact that he valued privacy, staying away from media spotlight. Looking back, the story of Betty Chalo and Dennis Okari's marriage is not just about love and separation. It's about the realities that many couples face, but magnified under the public eye. Their union was celebrated, their split was criticized, and their personal struggles became a national conversation. but both have shown resilience. Betty has reinvented herself time and again, building a career beyond TV. Dennis has remained respected in journalism and is living his life quietly. There is a reminder that marriage, even when it looks perfect from outside, requires deep understanding, patience, and compatibility. And while their story didn't end in happily ever after, it gave Kenyans lessons on love, relationships, and moving on.